Wilbur, our newest...
Hi, I'm Wilbur.
Our newest conductor trainee.
I'm really excited about this.
I can tell. Wilbur will be riding along with us as we take you around the town that Mr. Hershey built out of cornfields and chocolates.
Which must have been very messy and awfully hard to do.
Excuse me?
Let's go to town with cornfields and chocolate, all sticky and gooey. Yum.
Wilbur.
Sorry. I guess I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. I'm sure you'll do fine. Wilbur just finished his training this week. Did you enjoy your training?
It was great.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the singing. Do you think we can sing a song right now?
Don't worry, we'll be singing soon enough. But first, we tell our guests Mr. Hershey's story.
I've been studying that part really hard. Can I tell her?
I don't know, Wilbur. This is pretty important. All right, go ahead.
Alright. Mr. Hershey was born in a house not far from here in 1857. He learned to make candy, he made lots of money, and then he died.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's all you have to say about Mr. Hershey.
Well, I thought I pretty much covered all the important points, and now we can sing.
Wilbur, how long was your training anyway?
Well, I don't remember exactly how long. Oh, they did say I've been in training longer than any conductor ever.
I see. Folks, why don't I tell you Mr. Hershey's story? After all, Mr. Hershey was an inspiration to us all. For instance, did you know that Mr. Hershey was only 15 years old when he began as a candy making apprentice in Lancaster? And at the young age of just 19, he decided to set out on his own to start his first candy business in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, where he found his fortune, and now he can sing.
Wilbur, things didn't go well for young Milton. After 6 years of trying, the high cost of sugar caused his business to go bankrupt. But he didn't give up. He tried again. His father took him to Denver, where he met a candy maker who taught him how to put fresh milk in his candies to make them chewier, tastier, and longer lasting. Soon Milton was off to Chicago to try again. But he failed again. And again in New Orleans.
Sugar bills?
Apparently. But he still kept on trying. In 1884, he set up shop in New York City. In 1886,
Bankrupt.
sugar bills.
But he kept on trying. Doesn't this guy ever give up?
No, he doesn't. He returns to Lancaster determined to try one last time. He convinced his dear Aunt Martha to mortgage her house so he could start the Lancaster Caramel Company.
Wait, don't you mean the Lancaster Chocolate Company?
No, Wilbur, back in those days, chocolate was not well known in the United States. Most people don't know Mr. Hershey's first success was in caramels.
What success? You just said he failed 4 times.
And he almost failed in Lancaster as well. But just days before the bank was coming to foreclose on Aunt Martha's house, Mr. Hershey received a huge order of caramels from England, of all places.
He did?
Yes, and more orders came in. Soon, Mr. Hershey was completely out of debt. And what he found out was that the English were taking his caramels and coating them in something very special. Chocolate. So Mr. Hershey made a startling announcement. He decided to get out of caramels and risk his entire future in chocolate. So at the turn of the century, he sold his now successful Lancaster Caramel Company for $1 million.
Well, the next thing you know, multi-millionaire says to himself, "Nope, move away from there." He said, "Gary Church is the place I ought to be." So he moved to these cornfields for a factory. Chocolate, that is, smooth, creamy, and delicious.
You just had to do that, didn't you, Wilbur?
Sorry, I guess I get a little carried away sometimes.
Say
But
that
look,
again.
we're about to be in the center of the sweetest place on earth, Chocolate Town, USA. Why, there's the famous intersection of Chocolate and Cocoa Avenues. And along the street, you can see Hershey Kiss streetlights. They're my favorite.
That's right, folks. We are just about to turn on to the one and only Chocolate Avenue, the main street here in town. And what else would you find lining Chocolate Avenue but Hershey Kisses? If you look out and up, like Wilbur is, you'll be able to see the famous Hershey Kiss streetlights.
You know, Josie, these are the only Diet Kisses that Hershey makes.
Why is that?
Because they're made out of light chocolate.
There are 128 Hershey Kiss streetlights lining the length of Chocolate Avenue. As you can see, they alternate between wrapped and unwrapped.
You know what happens when one of them burns out, don't you?
What happens?
You get dark chocolate.
Moving right along.
And if robbers come by and take one,
Let me guess.
it's hot chocolate. But the bad guys are always foiled, and they end up behind chocolate bars. Get it?
Get it. Are you done?
Oh no, I've got lots more.
Some other time, Wilbur. In addition to Chocolate and Cocoa Avenues, Hershey features streets named Caracas, Granada, Arriba, Bahia, Java, Para, Trinidad, and Ceylon. These street names are all places in the world
This is
where
the
we
longest
get
video I ever posted on
Beach
YouTube.
Boy songs.
cocoa beans. Even the streets themselves tell you this really is Chocolate Town, USA. If you look outside the left side of the trolley, you can see the bank Mr. Hershey built for the town. He put it right next to the factory so that all of his workers could walk from work every day to pick up their paycheck. They say it's still in mint condition. And it makes a lot of sense, too.
You can take that one to the bank.
Jokes aren't going to get any funnier from here, folks. Feel free to laugh anytime. To your right, you can see the Hershey Press Building. Today it is home to Houlihan's Bar and Grill and Devon's. As we make this turn, if you look outside the right side of the trolley, you will see the community center Mr. Hershey built for the town in 1932. Today it is still home to the beautiful Broadway-style Hershey Theater. Not only has the community center been a place for many community events, but it was also the town's hospital as well on the 5th floor. Many of our older residents were born right here. And now to your left is the site of Mr. Hershey's original chocolate factory.
Wow, here's where it all began.
That's right, Wilbur. Milton Hershey began construction for the world's largest chocolate factory right here in 1903. And for over 100 years, it produced chocolate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Busy chocolate factory workers produced over 2 million Hershey bars every day.
Well, that's 25 every second.
That's pretty good, Wilbur. Before this factory was retired a few years ago, it produced over 30 million Hershey Kisses every day.
But now,
in our new factory just across town, they produce over 70 million Hershey Kisses each and every day.
unbelievable.
But it's true.
No, I mean, it's unbelievable that we still haven't done any singing.
Okay, Wilbur, before we get to our next stop, why don't we sing Sentimental Journey? Folks, pick up your song sheets and join right in. Start us off, Wilbur.
But I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. But I'm
Wait a
gonna...
I don't hear anyone singing. You know, folks, it's an unproven scientific fact that the louder and more out of tune you sing, the better the air conditioning works and the better Joe drives. Let's try it again.
I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. But I'm gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. But I'm got my bags, I got my reservations. Spent each time I could afford. But I'm like a child in wild anticipation. I long to hear that all aboard. 7, every time we leave at 7, I'll be waiting up for heaven. Countdown mile, a trolley track that takes me back. But I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take a sentimental journey home.
That was terrific. Now, folks, you're getting a nice view of the west course of the Hershey Country Club at Spring Creek.
Which is not the river of chocolate. And trust me, Josie, I learned the hard way.
The original factory, which is now to your left, was finished in 1905. Then came time to build Mr. Hershey's home, and we have a very special treat for you. We have been given exclusive permission to take you to the grounds of Mr. Hershey's home High Point Mansion. The grounds and the home are closed to the public, but the trolley works have been given special permission to take our guests onto the property. It's a beautiful sight, so you may want to get your cameras ready.
Wait, Charlie,
What's wrong, Wilbur?
I forgot my camera.
Oh, Wilbur, that's okay.
No, I know what I'll do. I'll break down the railroad tracks there. I'll just run home, get my camera, and be right back. You won't even miss me.
Wait, Wilbur, you can't get off in the middle of the tour.
Oh,
He's gone.
and off he goes.
Alright. Well, I guess there's no reason we can't head up to the mansion. Maybe Wilbur can catch up with us there. As we travel up the hill, take a look to your right and you will see Mr. Hershey's home. This will give me a chance to tell you a little more about Mr. Hershey. When Mr. Hershey started out, chocolate was a European luxury item. Mr. Hershey purchased some chocolate rolling equipment in 1893 and began coating his caramels with chocolate. In 1897, he had a more radical idea. He would start with nothing but raw determination and create a brand new chocolate recipe from scratch. He would use the secret he learned back in Colorado to put fresh milk in his candies to create a unique taste. He would be the first person in the world to mass-produce milk chocolate, making it so inexpensive, even a child could afford it. It took him 2 years until he finally perfected the recipe for Hershey's milk chocolate in 1899. The very next year, he introduced the world to the Hershey bar. However, not many people shared his vision. They told him he was crazy for wanting to build out here, but they called the middle of nowhere.
Crazy? Crazy, you say? Well, that's the trouble with most folks. No imagination. Oh, excuse me. My name's Henry Hershey.
Henry Hershey? You're Milton's father.
Yes, ma'am, but folks around here call me Papa Hershey. And you can too.
Well, Mr. Hershey, this is such an honor.
Just call me Papa. Say now, as I was out here, Mama, I saw a fellow look like one of yours. Just like your motorman there. He was a real handsome fella. Do you know him?
Yes, that must have been Wilbur. He's supposed to be helping me show our guests around the town.
Well, hold on there, what about me? Well, I'd be proud to show these folks around the town that my son built. Oh, I'll look you right up there. That's the house he built for his wife, Kitty. They call it the High Point Mansion. He put it here so that he could live right next to the factory and walk to work every day. I didn't want to waste any time, you know.
How about that?
And looky down there in the hollow. Well, that's the school we're going, what, second grade?
His teacher was one of your brothers, right?
His Uncle Elias, yep. He was Milton's favorite uncle. And when that boy wasn't schooling, he was working. I tell you, my Milton was always on the go.
Seems like it.
Well, just look at his town. It's only 3 years old and look how much it's grown already. Why, I can remember when all this was just cornfields and cows. Lots of cows. The chocolate factory sure has improved the fragrance of this town. I'll tell you what though, the factory sure does keep the cows busy. You know, it takes over 50,000 cows to make enough milk for one day of chocolate making. 50,000, yes sir. That's all I work with the factory right here in Derrick Country. You wanted to be close to the source, if you know what I mean.
But a lot of people told me he ought to have his head examined.
Now, don't get me started. You know, they used to call me crazy, too, whenever I showed them one of my new inventions. Of course, that could be because none of my inventions ever seem to work out quite
I see a
right.
cow.
The same with my
It looks
inventions.
like a car, but
You
it's
know, I
really a
almost had it
cow.
with silver mining out in Denver. It's too bad that one didn't pan out. Did it? Pan out. Where was I?
Talking about your son, the town, the house, Kitty.
Ah, land sakes, yes indeed. Best thing my boy ever did was to marry Kitty. She's a real smart lady, and pretty too. Took him long enough though. You know he was darn near 41 years old when he finally settled down.
Really?
I'll tell you something else too. That house cost him a pretty penny. He paid $53,433 for that house. Well, we're just about to pass by the Hershey cocoa bushes. You can't miss those.
Of course they're not actually cocoa bushes, right?
Oh, nah, they're barberry bushes. But around here we like to call them the Hershey barberry bushes.
There's a giant smokestack.
You know, around town I'm known for two things. Telling stories and singing songs. I see we got some song sheets here, why don't we use them?
Okay, why don't you pick your favorite?
I'm kind of partial to Bye Bye Blackbird.
Some of your song sheets, folks.
I've come for my cares and woe. Here I go, singing low. Bye.